Hey guys, back to me here. So in this video, we're going to be unboxing, setting up, and also taking a first look at the Magcubic. I went with this is the HY300 Pro model. So this is a budget-friendly 4K projector that you can project on your wall or your ceiling if you want. And the company claims that it can get you up to the equivalent of a 100-inch television screen. Without further ado, let's get it out of the box and get it set up. Let's go.
Oh boy, it's Tech Timmy time.
All right, so I'm actually opening this and checking it out for my girlfriend. She thought this would be a great thing for her daughter to have to take off over to college. This is a budget-friendly and college budget-friendly projector that is HDMI compatible. You can connect it to your phone using AirPlay, I believe. And then there's also a bunch of apps that come either pre-installed, we need to install them on here, including Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, and on and on. So pretty much any HBO, any major streaming service that you use is going to be covered here, although some of them are going to require a little bit of setup. So taking a quick look at the outer box here, 180-degree free projection, and it shows me projecting on the ceiling. I don't know why people do that. I guess maybe if you're lying in bed, I think that would make me dizzy. So I plan to, in my testing here, I plan to project this onto the wall, and where things are brightly lit here with my unboxing station, we'll dim the lights when we go in and test it out. But yep, so connects over Wi-Fi. And looks like it's super easy to set up from a couple of the other videos that I've seen. There's some specs on the side of the box here, but this is the most important thing to know is this is the HY300 Pro model. I think the company does have additional models as well, but super budget friendly, guys. I think the last time I priced this out, it was $50. So $50 for a multimedia projector is pretty cool. The demos that I've seen, the quality does look really nice, and we're gonna test it out in just a little bit here. So I'm going to take it out of the box. So looks well packaged. So we have some foam right on the top here. We're gonna get rid of the foam, and the foam was covering up the top of the projector. This does have a remote, and my understanding is that also requires 2 AA batteries. So we're gonna get the batteries installed in the remote as well. I'll fast forward through that part so you don't have to deal with the pain of me installing them. We have a standard AC/DC adapter here, and here's our remotes. This is one of those plasticky basic remotes that you've got your home button and general controls, and then a bunch of other things that will remain to be seen. We'll take a look at that as well as we get this guy set up. And we have all right, so I saw the little document and I thought, ooh, might have a little itty bitty type, but this looks really nice actually. So the document, the typeface is a little bit small. So we have lots of screenshots and looks colorful. Documentation looks excellent. And so we're gonna set the remote aside for a second, take out the projector here, where the magic happens, so to speak. And we have more foam. I'm gonna set that aside. Foam is so fun. And then, so it comes, all right, so kind of cool. I wasn't sure if I would needed to install the stand onto it, but it looks like, nope, it comes pre-installed on the stand itself. And so this is basically it. So we have the remote, the adapter, and the projector itself. And just looking at this, so it's lightweight, which I would expect for sort of a budget projector. It looks like there is a little plastic film on the top here, so I'm gonna wanna peel that off carefully. And then I will use my shirt to get the little glue or whatever it is that's on the front of lunch. You definitely want that to be clean. You don't wanna have anything blocking that. In fact, I may hit it with one of my infamous Windex wipes in a little while here. Do that. It does have a standard mount that you can potentially mount this on top of a tripod if you want. And then on the bottom, so we have an HDMI cable, HDMI input. We have our power button, USB type A, as well as DC for the power cable. So we will install that right now. That just snaps in there like that. Super easy, guys. And then, so, all right, so next I am going to put the batteries in the remote. Like I said, I'll take this over to the bedroom. We'll darken the room a little bit, and we'll get this up on the wall, and we'll do whatever the initial setup settings are. And then we'll also take a look. I'll see if I can find some copyrighted content that we can actually check out the quality. So here we are in the bedroom, and I just wanted to show you basically step you through the exact experience that I have powering on the device and so forth. I haven't gone dark yet, as you can tell, but so that the tripod there is where I'm going to be mounting my phone to film the video. And I just set this on my bed, which is directly across from a blank wall. It's maybe 15 feet away, but I just kind of wanted to show you how I had rigged this up. I don't have a lot of leeway to move back further here, but we're going to try and show you guys exactly what I'm experiencing. So I'm going to go dark, then we're going to power it on, and then I think the initial thing that we need to do is get it connected to Wi-Fi. So let's do that right now. All right, so here we are in my mostly dark room. I've got the remote here, and I'm going to hit the power button. Hopefully it just powers on. Let us see. And the light did come on, and we have Magcube up on the ceiling. I'm going to just drop that down a little bit, and that is a fairly large image there. Bigger than I was expecting, and the projector itself is easy enough to adjust. It looks like it could use maybe a little bit more focus. Let me see. So I'm adjusting the dial on top of the cube to focus it a little bit better. Yep. So, all right. And now we have this interesting trapezoid. I believe that's what you call that. But it's filling the entire wall, guys, which is pretty crazy. And I'm just going to push the whole thing up a little bit. Get a little bit closer. Maybe bring the image down a little bit more. We're a little bit lopsided here. But I think for purposes of this demo, I think that should do us just fine. So I'm tooling around with the remote. For a budget-friendly projector, this is actually way better than I was expecting. And let's go into settings. And then I'm going to start here in network projection settings. Let's just see if we can, and a whole bunch of different options here. Wow. So here's the digital scaling. So this is going to let us drop it down, something a little bit more manageable. Let's just get it connected to Wi-Fi, and I'll fast forward through this part. I'll fast forward to any parts that are going to be a little bit tedious and might take us a little while. So my wireless network's Coruscant. I'm going to go ahead and enter my password. I'll fast forward through all this. Yeah, so it took me a minute to figure out that after I got my password in there, it took me a minute to realize you need to hit the check. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so check, and then you click that thing in the right corner there. And now it's connected to my Wi-Fi network, and we're connected. Great. Okay, so now that we're connected, we can do things like presumably download apps. So the main ones that I need are there: Netflix, Disney Plus, and YouTube. I also have Amazon Prime. Let's see if Amazon Prime is in the App Store here. So let's go to my apps. And then, okay, so this is for things like Screencast, Music, Office Suite, Play Store, and then the App Store presumably is where we can get more. And then, so here we go. Okay, recommended. So we have, these are here already. And then, yeah, big long list, guys. You can get Chrome, Hulu. There's my Prime Video. Perfect. So this really has everything that I need. Just do a quick test. Let's see. Oh, install fast. So that's good. And the video quality, I mean, it's not like a 4K television, obviously, but it's a little bit washed out, but not terrible. I'm going to just try and adjust the dial again just a little bit more. See if I can get this just a little bit more dialed in. Okay, so installation successful. And now, okay, and now, so I'm going to go back. And now let's actually put this to the test with some YouTube content. The remote is a little bit sluggish, but it does seem to be picking things up. And now, okay, so because the YouTube icon is white, that's lame. It doesn't really highlight it, but yeah, you'll be able to figure out how to get there. And okay, so it looks like we need to install everything that we want to use, and that's fine. And now I was already on the launch button, so I just hit the OK button in the center here. And here comes YouTube. How cool is that? Okay, I'm going to sign in. I'll fast forward through this part as well. So before I show you guys YouTube, I found some settings in here that will actually help to increase the overall display. So there's this thing called auto trapezoidal correction. If you are seeing that trapezoid effect, you're going to want to toggle that on. So I've already fixed mine, and now that it's toggled off, it actually seems to be less of a trapezoid. So a little funky there, but play with that, and that will help to give you more of a rectangular look instead of a trapezoidal look. You can also reset the trapezoidal correction down the bottom there if you're having issues. But so that's kind of a key piece. Installation mode, don't worry about. It basically reverses the type and does all kinds of funky things. But then your display settings, as I said before, so you can adjust the brightness, the contrast, and all that good stuff. And if you need to click the button multiple times in order to play with that, and then sharpness, we can bump that up a little bit maybe if things aren't sharp enough for you. I would say try it with the defaults first and see how you like it. But then here, we also have a bunch of different settings. So network settings were in there, so that was where we set our Wi-Fi. Bluetooth, you can actually pair this thing. This is key. So the speaker on this thing is terrible. It sounds super tinny, and it's just maybe the same quality as your iPhone speaker, if not worse. But you can actually pair this with a Bluetooth speaker. So if for better overall sound experience. But so this should be, my understanding is super easy to pair with your favorite Bluetooth speaker. So that's key. I won't necessarily do it for this video, but the option is there. And then the language, obviously, if you don't speak English, there's a bunch of different language options on here. Whole bunch, actually. We have our date and time settings. Other settings, I'm not sure what's in here, so we'll check that out real quick. So button sound, see what that does. Oh, yep. So now as we toggle around, I like that actually. I'm gonna leave that on. So that's cool. Screensaver kicks on after 20 minutes. Time shutdown, and you can also come back in and restore factory defaults if you happen to mess things up. So there we go. And now I'm gonna log into my YouTube channel. Comes right up. So nice and zippy actually. So that's good. Obviously it's basically taking that from my Wi-Fi. And I'm just gonna do a quick search up here for, let's just say free 4K stock footage. All right, so there it is. And now let's see if we can get, so my notes in the bottom left corner there. This is one of my favorite screensavers that I have set up on my Facebook portal in the lower left corner there, which is true 4K. This is not going to be that, but let's just take a quick look at this and see how vibrant of a picture we get. That's nice, actually. For a budget projector, that is not too shabby. Unfortunately, because of copyright issues, I cannot show Disney Plus. I'd love to be able to show you guys what Finding Nemo looks like on here, for example. I don't really like the look of that one. Nature, so let's do a nature one. So that looks nice, guys. So that is actually surprisingly great for a budget projector. This looks beautiful, actually. So that's surprising. So this is the equivalent of maybe a 70-inch screen, and the company claims it can do up to 100. I can try and play with the display setting a little bit. I'm gonna hit the home button on the remote here. We're gonna punch up the digital scaling a little bit. Punch up rather, drop it down to, so that is probably the equivalent of close to maybe an 80 to 90 inch screen, maybe not quite 100, but I'll bet if I pulled the projector back, it would get even bigger. And the difference in quality is negligible. So let's go back to our YouTube video here. Let's pull up a different one. Free 4K stock. So Space, the Final Frontier, how cool is that? That looks really nice, wow. And again, nighttime, it's gonna look even better for sure. Okay, so this one has sound to it. Turn it up a little bit here. Yeah, the sound quality, it's not terrible, but it's not great. I would say if you have a Bluetooth speaker, you're gonna wanna hook up your Bluetooth speaker to this guy. So the other thing you can do with this is you can screencast or mirrorcast to this. I do know that folks have had, saw some YouTube videos, people said they had a hard time getting Android to connect up to this. In fact, the one YouTuber that I watched, one of them said he did not have any success with Android devices at all, but iPhone, it seems to be fairly straightforward. There is a button on the remote for that. Try this. Here we go, yeah, so this is where you would screencast through AirPlay. My understanding is this is super straightforward. You see the screen mirroring there and the iPhone in the middle. You basically just select the option for the projector and your screencasting to it. Pull up another aquarium. So this is my favorite one. So let's grab that. And there we go. Definitely not as crisp as the true 4K image on the bottom left there. But again, guys, at nighttime, that's going to be even more pronounced and look even better. So I'm super happy with this. I think if you have a high school student and so forth, they will be absolutely thrilled. This has HDMI connectivity, so you can hook up your gaming consoles to it. And as I said, Bluetooth speaker and so forth as well. So overall, I would say 7 out of 10 on this here in terms of quality. And for the price, it brings it to a 10 out of 10.
I've actually seen some other YouTube videos where people compare this against some high-end Sony cameras, and really, I can hardly notice the difference. So with these projectors, generally, you're not gonna get incredible 4K unless you're spending thousands of dollars. But for a super budget-friendly projector to watch movies and college dorm, what have you, I'm actually gonna get one of these to project on this exact wall. I'm gonna have to finagle where I'm gonna set it up, because as you can see, my bed is right here in the way. But I'm actually gonna get one of these so we can actually watch movies in bed from here, which is so fun. So anyhow, I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up. Is my thumb in there? Oh, there we go. Helps out the channel a lot. And I do all sorts of videos about tech, and hope to see you in the next one. And if you like this video, YouTube thinks you might like one of these videos that I'm gonna put up on screen here next, and hope you'll check that one out as well. So see you next time. Cheers.